Hello and welcome to episode 99 of the Unrenowned Podcast, where we talk about Siege, what we like about Siege.
What we don't like about Siege.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Chris.
And today, we're recording live. Here we are, live on Twitch. Hey, everybody.
Live on the Twitcheroonies.
We decided we're going to do every episode live from now on.
That's not true.
It's false. It's false. Okay, but we had to do this one different because, well, frankly, we just didn't want to record last night. So now we have to record today and get it out right away. So here we are, live for the people. For the people. There's a new event, Road to SI 2021. It's a good time. We'll talk about that. There's some patch notes, new things, buffs, nerfs, otherwise. Discord discourse. So last episode, the Discord discourse topic that we put out was, what do you expect to see in the Year 6 reveal? Which this is really like a Year 6 re-reveal because they already revealed Year 6, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
they showed like half of it was a Year 5, Year 6 reveal, but
promised that there would be a Year 6, more or less.
Yeah.
And then let's start questions. So it's it's a standard old show with good things to talk about. Chris.
Yeah.
There is a certain special energy drink who loves our podcast.
Right.
Tell me about that energy drink.
Yeah, so that would be Ma Energy. There's 4 different flavors. You go to drinkma.com/r6pod and you get a free tub of Ma at 60 servings. You just pay shipping. And it's good stuff.
Yeah. One of the Ma guys is literally here right now in the chat. In my chat. Not in your chat, because I'm the better chat.
Oh, it's like he's not in my chat.
Yeah, so get on there, guys. Try out that new Mythic Melon. Look, Chris is showing you his Blue Buzz right there. Proof that we actually drink it. Try out their new Mythic Melon, or if you haven't tried any other flavors yet, then just start with Blue Buzz, because that's the best one. So that's drinkma.com/r6pod. drinkmaw.com/r6pod.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's talk about Road to SI 2021. So last year we had a Road to SI 2020 event, which was where they had that big stadium map, and there was like the kind of practice facilities styled map with like the glass windows and everything, and they had like this really cool cinematic that went along with it that like showed that like, oh, the operators look at this as like a sporting event almost. It was like really, really cool. And now we're at Road to SI 2021. It's a very similar event and also very cool.
Did it have a cinematic at the beginning of it? I didn't see it.
I didn't see one. I might have skipped it. Sometimes I do that, but I don't think so. Is there a cinematic, guys? Since we have a live chat, let us know.
Yeah, let us know if there's maybe, or was the other cinematic, was it like in a tweet or something that they
No, I'm pretty sure it was in game.
And then
I'm pretty sure it was in game.
I thought it was in game too. I didn't think this one had one in game, but it's possible I wasn't paying attention or skipped it.
Yeah. It's really easy to skip them, especially when you're trying to get in because everybody's waiting for you in the squad already. You're just like, I gotta play.
Yep.
So this new map is like, it's a mix of border and coastline. It's almost just like the two maps split down the middle, kind of, and then they're just like joined together, and it's like really clever. I haven't played it enough to like really appreciate it, but like the second that I walked in, I was like, oh, this is coastline. That's cool. That's a good map to make into an SI. And then I walked to the next room, like, wait, hang on, this is border. Like, what's happening here? And I was like, this is cool. 2 like super good maps, and they just combined them. This is great.
No, they combined them like just seamlessly. Like it seems like the maps just go together so perfectly. Like I don't. So you have, it's just so hard to explain over a podcast, but you have the border part of like armory and archives and offices, and below it obviously you have ventilation and like bathroom and workshop. You have those, basically that side of the map. And then like when you go up metal stairs, if you go to the right of metal stairs, that's like going to 90 on coastline. So like there's no theater in coastline, but you go up like metal stairs and border and you turn right, you're like, it goes to the 90 corner, and then you have like the VIP door of VIPs there. You keep going down the hall. On your left is going to be offices of border, but if you go straight, you're going to run into like billiards and hookah on coastline. Then you have the cool vibe stairs there that you can go down. You have sunrise down below and blue bar and kitchen and service, and you have the lobby. Yeah, it's cool. So like the really lobby stairs and coastline, the lobby stairs are the same as metal stairs.
Yeah, and
it's just perfect.
And then I know that like you were like really into the like how like the staircases outside and stuff like fed into the map.
Yeah. Yeah, so instead of like, so Border has the problem of like you get on a balcony and you can't get off the balcony, like you have to rappel, and you kind of get yourself stuck. And then Coastline has the problem of like the VIP balcony is the same way. You get on the VIP balcony, there's really no way to get out other than
Yeah.
to rappel, and you're just kind of stuck.
And there's tons of rappel
And
spots that are like
that's
so
bad.
narrow. It's like you can rappel here,
Yeah.
and there's a window, but like that's pretty much it. You've got like 10 feet to go
Yep.
in either direction. So
Yeah, and it seems like they've made it where like staircases just kind of go up to those windows outside. So like there's a staircase that goes up to the VIP window, the like billiards window, like instead of that being like you can't get to it other than rappelling, there's like a kind of like a balcony out there, but it's not like a balcony where like, you can hop off. You just walk upstairs, you get to it. Like it's just nice. The Coastline, like outside of Penthouse, you can go like on a like balcony outside of Penthouse, but again, not a balcony that encloses you in. It's like you have options when you're up there. It's just, I don't know. It's good. It's good.
yeah, it's cool. Yeah, I've liked what I played of it. What I don't like about it is that it's a weekends only event, which like I get the point because they're trying to like keep people excited about it. But then it actually sucked because like we went to go play it like on a Wednesday night or something, and we're like, oh yeah, let's go play Road to SI. We haven't really played much of that, and so we go to jump in and we're like, where is it? It's like, oh yeah, it's not there because it's only weekends.
Yeah.
So it's like I get it, but like it's kind of annoying because I would like to just jump in and play it whenever.
Yeah, I mean, like, the thing, it's funny because we say this of like, we'll just have it be on weekends that people are more into it, and then they do that, and we're like, well, it's kind of annoying that it's not during the week, so you
Yeah.
can play it.
Yeah, I know. We totally asked for that.
I do like, it's just hard to remember that that's a thing, but
Yeah,
it's I do think all events all the time, and I get this is this is hard. So the first Road to SI event was a ranked format. I'm pretty sure there was an abandon penalty for it, but it was different because at the time in ranked we didn't have pick and ban. We didn't have was that it? Was pick and ban the only thing they introduced there? Oh, it was just the Road to SI map pool. But like it was like you were playing the Pro League, what Pro League plays. And so like that's why it was exciting because like so it was like that, and so you were getting into ranked, whereas this it's like really the only difference here is we have a new map, right? Like that's really the only difference. It's like it shouldn't really like I'm fine with it being ranked rules and the fact of like if they're 3-minute rounds, you get to pick your spawn point, there's pick and ban. I don't like the fact that you can't leave because it's
yeah.
like it's
This
an
is a
event.
casual
Like I should
mode,
be able to
yeah.
join and leave, yeah, as I please.
Yeah, and like I don't really care
And even-
if my teammate leaves when I'm playing Road to SI. Like who cares?
Yeah, who cares? Like just get someone else in here though.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Um,
yeah, I just think that those shouldn't be a thing. I also love how they solve, and we talked about this last time, the last Road to SI event. You could spawn underneath and you could spawn on top of the map. And we talked about how that like might be coming with maps in the future because and they haven't done that yet, but it's nice because it's like you can't get spawn peeked. You spawn on the roof, you can't get spawn peeked. You spawn underneath, you can't get spawn peeked.
Yeah. I'm really interested to see if they're gonna like announce something like these kinds of spawns or like something to really change up spawning. Because like something I noticed, I was looking at the last year 6 map, and they when they started doing this mid year 5 when they only started doing one operator per season. Was that they sort of replaced that second operator with core gameplay mechanic reworks, and like they specifically put that on each season for the roadmap. And through year 6, they're planning to only do one operator each season, and so they also have those same reserved spots for core gameplay mechanic stuff. Which we've seen actually some stuff shifting, like some pretty major stuff that's shifted, or just like new features like Ping 2.0, right, that have come because they haven't had to spend so much time on the operators. So I'm interested to see, like I know that spawn peeking is something that they've talked about a lot as like being problematic, especially for new players to be able to enjoy the game. So I'm really interested to see if that's something they're gonna tackle soon in one of those spots. So we'll see. They have some good data on it, I think, now through 2 SI events of how these different spawns can fix it, and the glass windows can really help a lot with that. Well, actually, one fun thing to do if you didn't play the last event, or if you've never tried this, like use your drones in those glass windows. If you just perch a drone right outside one of those, like a lot of times you can see right into an objective, and they can't do anything about it unless they like find an angle on it from another window or something. So
Yeah. Or you just, or when you're not in your drone, you're just alive, you just stare at people through the window and you're both like, what do we do now?
Yeah, you
like
can
we both know we're telling a teammate to come kill this person, but
totally.
we don't know how close our teammate is.
Yeah, use the windows.
Your teammate's gonna get here first.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's very different than regular Siege. But yeah, so that's that. I'm having fun with it. I'd like to play some more. Maybe this weekend we'll get a little bit more in. Maybe some Unrenowned crew can join us. Yeah, so that's Road SI. Patch notes. We have a new patch, which is, I think they deployed it already, didn't they?
Yep, this is live.
It just like came out. There was some reason they had to do
it
quickly
because a day and a half.
Yeah, it had like some hotfix with it or something, so they just like put it out real quick. But it actually has a lot of pretty big changes. So we'll just go through this. So for Ash, they reduced the breaching round explosive damage range to 2 meters from 3.5 meters, which doesn't really matter, right? Like, because it's not affecting its destructibility at all, right? This is just damage the operators receive from it. I don't feel like that many people are getting killed by the breaching charge, but apparently they felt like it was a big enough issue that they had to nerf the damage radius, so whatever. That's that. Now, Buck, this is interesting. They increased the shotgun's total ammo to 30 plus 1 from 26. Are they talking about a skeleton key?
Yeah.
Okay. So the skeleton key, and they added hard breach charge. They also, didn't they fix the C8 recoil?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, this is controller only. Oh, okay. I didn't realize this. So they have a controller only recoil section here. They improved recoil for the ARX, C8, M1014, and TCSG12. I had seen that they fixed the C8, and I thought like, oh, that's really good for Buck, because since they took away his frags, he hasn't been as interesting, and so it's cool that his rifle gets a little bit better. But I guess that's not actually a thing unless you're on console.
Yeah. But yeah, it's interesting that he has a hard breach charge now too. Like they already made it so the skeleton key, like sometimes you'd run out if you really got above, like maybe you got to VIP and you're shooting down into kitchen or whatever on coastline, and you kind of run out like doing that. Or like another really popular one is workshop or armory, shooting down into vents in a workshop. I guess now you can just open more from the ceiling, so I guess that's good. But it's interesting that they gave him a hard breach charge too. Like that's kind of an all-in-one operator now.
Yeah.
Which will definitely increase his playtime if he doesn't have frags. So
yeah, I like that. Okay, Echo, they reduced the yokai drone jump cooldown to 2 seconds from 3 seconds, so that makes his yokais a lot less vulnerable. That's really good for him, especially after they're not invisible anymore, right? So
yeah, they're not invisible. They're still somehow effective. Like I don't know how people just don't. I won around on Bank in like a Plat 2 game because I had a yokai drone. They weren't shooting it, and like 20 seconds left in Bank basement, and I was just delaying the plant. And like I was like, after I had shot once, like I was like dipping down and jumping up and shooting and dipping down again, obviously. Right. But like, how did you not shoot it before that? Like you knew we had an Echo. I got scanned. Like what? Like it's visible on the ceiling.
Smooth brains.
Yeah, just nuts. But yeah, that's way nice. Like 2 seconds. The you had this really stupid thing as Echo where like when the stupid really awesome example of this is the like by border. What's that? Customs and inspection. There's that like site where like you go up, there's like all the like crossbars on the ceiling, and trying to stick it up there is like impossible because you keep hitting a crossbar. And it takes forever to fall down, and then to jump back up takes forever again. But now it's like a 0.5 second timeout instead of a 2 second timeout.
Okay,
so
I didn't realize what that was.
That's huge.
Yeah, because it would just like kind of stick, like it wouldn't stick, but it would just hover there for 2 seconds, and so it was super vulnerable. You couldn't do anything.
Yep. Oh, it was the worst is actually if you jumped too close to a reinforcement, because like the lip of the reinforcement at the top would catch your drone, so you'd like jump up and get stuck on it, have to wait 2 seconds for it to fall back down, and have to wait 3 seconds to jump again. Yeah. It's like, oh my gosh, stop.
And then they also reduced the sonic burst cooldown to 16 seconds from 20, so that's a 20% reduction, which is huge.
That's actually huge, yeah, because now you can potentially like get off. You can just keep hitting them with the burst. Like you can get your third burst to come back if you're like timing it right with the 7 second plant.
Yeah.
It's like if you actually wait the full like at least 6 seconds, like it's going to be, oh yeah, it will. You wait the 6 seconds and then hit them, and then wait 6 seconds, hit them, and then wait 6 seconds. You're going to have another one have respawned at that point, another one have cooled down. You can hit them again, so now you can get 3 hits
right
on them in a plant if you just have one drone left.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Ella, they removed her resistance to concussion effects, which is great because it's just one of those things. Same thing with Zofia. They removed hers as well. It was just one of those weird things. It's like, why does this operator do this? And it doesn't, like, why do I have to remember this? And then they removed the extra mine she gets well in DBNO. So I don't like that this is just a nerf to Ella on both ends, but I like the more meta thing of what they're doing here is like removing special abilities that like passive abilities that like no other operator really has passives, but for some reason like a handful of them do. So I like that they're like putting them back on a more level playing field that way. And then like her mind well in DBNO, it's like I didn't even know she had that until like 6 months ago when like I was playing Ella and got down and I was like, wait, what? Like this is stupid. Why can I do this? So yeah, like the fact that I could not even know that existed until recently is like stupid. So like it sucks that she's basically just getting nerfed. Not that either of these are like huge things, but I think overall it's a good thing for the game.
Yep, it is. Callie.
Yeah, tell me about Callie.
Changed.
You're a big Callie
They changed
player.
how she works. I play a ton of Callie, and they changed how she works. So it used to be if you shot someone in the chest, it was hard coded as that would be a DBNO shot 100% of the time, regardless of what happened. That's just how it worked. Now they changed it, so the base damage is 122 for 25 meters, which is how base damage works in Siege. So 100% damage until 25 meters linearly falls to 80% at 35 meters, and damage to limbs has not changed. So basically, the change here is a 3-speed operator. You can one-shot kill them if you shoot them in the chest with it.
Yeah.
A 2-speed operator, you will down them if you shoot them in the chest, and then a 1-speed operator, you will just shoot them in the chest and nothing will happen. So
they'll take damage.
They'll take damage obviously, but it won't kill them. So it sucks because it used to just down everybody no matter what, and you could almost always finish them off with a lance. If you just shot the lance where you shot them, you could kill them with it. Now like you can one shot 3 speeds, but like being able to hit 3 speeds because they're so fast is already just so difficult, and so like it almost never happens anyway. But like the fact that a 1-speed can, like Maestro and Kaid that are like frequently played 1-speeds, you can't kill them with it. So it's frustrating.
Yeah,
I just think it's an nerf. They talked about how they did this because in the original like designer's notes, they talked about how they did this because they felt like she was underplayed, and it's like, well, like, but you nerfed her though.
Right. Yeah, so from what they're saying, like from their surveys, they found that people found the one-shot DBNO mechanic frustrating, I guess because like it seemed inconsistent because it had different rules if you hit their limbs, or like if I guess if you're too far away, like it wouldn't down. So people were frustrated because kind of the way they sold her was like, oh, she downs you in one shot. And so like if you just take that as that's your takeaway from the introduction of her as an operator, then you go to play the game, you're like, wait, like that it's broken, it doesn't work, right? Which isn't the case. It's just that it was implemented a little bit differently than kind of what they just sold her as on like the elevator pitch. So anyway, like I think it's fine that it's more of a linear damage model, just like every other operator, and it's not like this weird thing with kind of different rules. I don't think it actually is that much of a nerf for her like you do, because I mean she can now kill a handful of people in one shot, and some of the more popular operators are those people. So like a Vigil, Bandit. I know Cav's not that popular at higher levels, but at lower levels she's pretty big. So like if you can catch one of those and get a one shot, like that's pretty amazing. And then, you know, for 2 speeds, which is most people, she's the same.
Yeah, this person brings up a really good point on this Reddit post. A lot of people, I'm just reading these comments, and it's like all these people are saying like, the Callie nerf, can't believe it. Callie RIP, imagine nerfing Callie, what the freak. I don't understand the Callie changes. Callie change seems really dumb. But this one, he actually like gives a good, like, not description, but like what he feels like about it. He's like, basically 3 speeds, you don't see a ton of them. Like Bandit and Vigil are pretty common, but like Pulse, Lesto, Cav, and Alibi are pretty rare. Malusi's banned all the time. So like she's better at killing like a couple of operators. 2 speeds, nothing changed. And then 1 speeds, if you're fighting against Mira, you basically don't want to do it because it's like having a worse DMR because the fire rate's crap.
That's
and you
true.
shoot her once, you're just screwed, right? Like
That's
you
true.
shoot her, it doesn't do anything unless she's damaged. Or if you're fighting a Doc or a Rook, it's like then it really sucks. Like especially if Rook's on their team and giving everybody armor, then it really sucks. Like these 1-speed operators just got a huge buff against her because now she just has a crappy DMR. So it's like aim for the head, but it's like, well, yeah, you do that with every gun. So why would I bring a gun that fires nothing? It's like if I see a 1-speed Mira, it's like I'm not going to fight her with the with the freaking CRX, whatever it's called, I'm going to pull out my SMG.
Right. Well, see, and that's the other thing though, is like she has this really good SMG now that like she can actually push into sight if she needs to. So now it's just like, okay, she can possibly one shot kill some of these lower health operators right off the bat, if she has a nice little perch or whatever. Whereas before, a lot of times you would down somebody and you wouldn't get anything out of it. And I guess, even if they get revived, they're only up to 20 nowadays. So that's like, it's almost a kill.
Yeah.
But I mean, I have to play it. I haven't played it yet. So, but I actually think this is going to be good for Callie overall. The one tricky thing there is
fake
that
news.
Rook's armor will affect this, whereas before it didn't, right?
Yeah, it will. Yes, that's true. It will affect it.
So,
and did not before.
Yeah. It's interesting to see a big change though. We haven't had a lot of big changes recently, I feel like, except for Tachanka. Legion, they removed the 1.5 times scope from the T5, which that's fair.
I was surprised it was on there in the first place.
Yeah, Legion's really good. He's not as good as he used to be. I wish he was as good as he used to be, because I don't think they needed to nerf him the way that they did, but whatever.
Lion, they added a Claymore that took away his hard breach charge. I think that's kind of dumb because, I mean, I guess they gave it to Buck and took away Buck's Claymore, but I don't know. I think Lion having the hard breach charge was nice for him.
Yep. Some more attachment stuff here. Malusi, they removed the angled grip from the MP5. Mira, they removed the 1.5 scope from the Vector, which I kind of hate because, like, Mira's so good already. Like, I get it. But just, like, as a Mira semi-main, I guess, like, that made her so much easier to play for me, just, like, to be able to... Because a lot of times it's like, yeah, cool, I have this window, but I'm going up against... I was going to say Ashes, but Ashes don't have ACOGs anymore. I'm going up against, what's a really good example? Thermite's guns kind of sucks. Like, I'm going up against Thatcher with his L85 and his ACOG, and he's just going to wreck me the second I try to peek him.
The G8?
Yeah, things like that. So,
it is. Like, she is a one-speed operator, so having the better scope just kind of made sense in general, just because she's a one speed. But
yeah, I just feel like
she was also it's the Vector, so
right. And like that's the thing is like she has such a good gun and such a good gadget. I just did feel like the scope goes really well with her gadget, and like it has really good synergy there. So it kind of sucks that it doesn't anymore.
Yeah. Grumpy Monkey brings up that stats wise, her new secondary, the SPS MG9, that's the Callie secondary is what he's talking about, is worse than the other SMG she used to have, the CZ75. Which is true. Like if you look at the damage and the fire rate and stuff, but it has a sight, which is huge. That's why everybody loves it better, because it actually has like a sight to look at instead of iron sights.
And it's way more controllable, I feel like, too. Way more reliable.
Yeah, I do feel like it's kind of easier to control. I mean, I'm not sure if that's actually true, but I definitely feel way more comfortable with the SPS MG9 than I feel with the CZ75.
Yeah, I do too. Okay, so Zofia, the concussion effect, same as Ella. Then they also removed Withstand, which is fantastic. No more Withstand in this game. People have been bringing up Tachanka. Tachanka never came out with Withstand. That never happened. That wasn't a thing.
I played against the Zofia and I downed her, and I was like, crap, like she has Withstand, just so you guys know, like she's got Withstand. Like they're gonna pick her back up, or like she can pick herself up. I was like, oh wait, no, she doesn't. She doesn't have Withstand. We're fine.
Yeah.
Shields. There used to be this guard break animation where you had they say they removed or set to 0 the camera penalization during the guard break animation. Are they talking about sensitivity?
Well, there was a penalty that had a number associated with it, and so they say removed, and then in parentheses set to 0 the penalty. So there used to be some multiplier, so now it's gone. So there's no more penalty when you hit trigger guard break.
So camera penalization, is that sensitivity?
Yeah. So what would happen is,
why didn't they just say sensitivity?
Well, because
why word it like that?
Yeah. So what would happen is
every player knows it as sensitivity. Why would you say?
I guess that's true.
That just seems confusing.
It's a translation from French.
True.
Yeah. So what would happen is you'd get hit with the shield. As a shield player, somebody would hit you, and then it would cause this guard break animation, and then it would put a penalty on your sensitivity. So when you tried to turn, you would slow down. It's, of course, like that's always super frustrating.
Like,
Anything that
it was
messes with your
severe. It
ability to
was
turn.
huge.
Yeah. So that's completely removed, which is good. Also with Sophia, we missed that they reduced her impact grenade explosive damage range to 2 meters, which was 3 meters. Same thing as Ash.
Yeah.
Except Ash went from 3.5 to 2. Hard breach charges, secondary hard breaches. They reduced the deployment time to 2 seconds from 3 seconds, and the activation time from 5 to 6 seconds. So this went from a 9-second total process to a 7-second total process, which is a lot faster. And that always did feel really slow. Secondary hard breach.
It did feel really slow, and it seemed like it was supposed to be slow because, like, it was a secondary hard breach, instead of like a, like
primary
a
gadget,
yeah. But it's nice that it's fast now, because it was like before you could put it on and Bandit could be like, oh, I think I hear one. Let me go run over there real fast, and he gets over and he can still put down his battery before it goes off.
Yeah.
And now it's like he at least has to be actively, like, at least very close by.
Right.
He can't be like in another room.
Yeah, he's got 2 seconds of leeway, which is a lot more than most other hard breaches, but not as comfortable for him as it was before. Let's see. Is this important about ranked match?
There's nothing else here. No,
Okay.
there's nothing else here.
Cool. This
That's
also
it
came
for the
along
patch
with designer's notes with the graphs and everything. I don't think there's anything we need to talk about on there. It looks basically the same.
I looked at it. It didn't see like there was much that
Where is Kali on
was
here?
super interesting.
Okay, she's down there, underpicked, 2 week. Not like super extreme, but she's down there. I wonder where she's going to go. But yeah, everything else is the same. Jaeger is still picked every match, every round. So they can keep trying to undo that, but who cares? Just let him be picked. It's fine.
Thatcher's still being banned all the time.
Yeah, Thatcher's ban rate has just skyrocketed. But Jackal's ban rate's getting more under control. He's still banned a lot. Melusi's
really
actually
nothing.
gone below Mira. Because she had passed Mira at one point, hadn't she? Or do you know?
I'm not sure.
Oh, but Echo's down to 16%.
Echo's dropped a whole ton. I mean, when you make something invisible,
right
now visible,
right? He's banned less than
like,
Clash at this point.
Yeah. Anyway, Iruni made it onto the ban chart. That's like one of the first times. I guess Melusi did it as well, but it's rare for new operators now to like get onto the ban chart immediately.
Yeah. Good for
Iruni's
Aruni.
on
She
there.
did it. You did it, Aruni. Record setter. Breaking
Good
barriers.
girl.
Breaking barriers, glass ceilings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
that's that. Okay, let's get into Discord discourse. So, as you know, every episode we put out a topic for Discord discourse, which is where we just kind of talk about it in a specific Discord channel and talk about what we think about certain things. And we've done lots of different topics in the past, like should this game have one-shot headshots, that kind of stuff. This one was, what do you expect to see at the year 6 reveal? Not what do you want?
and this was,
What do you think will happen?
what do you actually believe will come out in the year 6 reveal? And I have to be honest, I really hope that they do something like they have to do something big. Like, I don't know necessarily what I expect. I do think I expect something to change with the preparation phase and the action phase of how that works and the picking phase and everything. But like, even to keep me playing Siege frequently, they have to change something, because I'm just sick of like how Siege works now with like the pixel peaks and the quick peaks and like that's not fun to me, at least. But
yeah, I feel like we've sort of been saying this for a long time, but like what's fun to me about Siege is much more about the strategy, the molding of the map, the trying to outthink the other player, like knowing the map better and like knowing where you can shoot through the floor and get somebody. Like, that is what's really interesting to me about Siege, and it's like quickly becoming just like Counter-Strike in a lot of ways, where it's like the ability to quickly strafe and pre-fire a corner just is not interesting gameplay to me. And I get that that's what Siege is at a really high level, but like, it's just like, I feel like that's coming lower and lower down, where like people in gold and silver are like learning these kinds of things. And it's just like, I was playing Road to SI the other day, just like I just hopped on and just played a few rounds by myself, and like every round it was just like I was getting killed by these people doing these like crazy like crouch pixel peek things, you know, you see the YouTube memes about like, this is what Siege looks like, and it's just the guy like bobbing and weaving, like, you know, like just doing this stupid stuff. And it's just like, yeah, I'm sick of dying to that. Like, it's not fun. I don't feel like that guy beat me in any way. I just feel like he spent a bunch of time practicing moving his fingers a certain way, and that's like not what I want to do, and I don't have fun playing that game. So like, I really hope that they make some kind of change to lessen that as part of what this game is.
Yeah.
So that's just a longer way of saying what you already said.
Yep. So starting off, Discord discourse, STN Beast, BT3ST Beast says better game. That's what he expects to see, and I hope he's right.
Yeah, good job. Faith Defender thinks we'll see cross-gen.
Which they've already announced cross-gen, but I put that in there because cross-platform could be interesting if they did a cross-platform thing between Xbox and PS4.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. I was like, wait, didn't they already say cross-gen?
Yeah, they already said they'd have cross-gen.
Maybe he's saying that it'll be released. Maybe, is it not out right now?
It's not out yet, but they've already said it's coming. Like, that's... Anyway.
Cool.
McLomixstick, he thinks there's going to be 1 new map, 4 new ops, 2 reworked maps, and some major change of some sort. I do think there will be a new map, definitely, in this year. They've been doing a lot of reworks, but I think there's definitely going to be a actual new map.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I looked at that roadmap. I'm trying to remember what it said about new maps. I'm going to look it up while we keep talking. The mayor...
Okay.
Keeping past playlist rotations in. So
this is, I think we're referring to events here. So stuff like the Doctor's Curse, the Golden Gun, the Showdown, Road SI events, basically somehow keeping those in the game to play for players. We talked about possible problems with that like a couple weeks ago, but it's definitely like something that people have been wanting, people have been asking for. So that would be, this is something that Mayor expects to see in. So that'd be interesting for sure. Definitely interesting.
Right. So just on the year 6 thing, they did for each season, they just put map. So it doesn't say new map. It doesn't say reworked map. It just says map. So I would be really
and there's still
surprised.
Just 4 operators, right?
Yes. For 1 new operator for each season, core gameplay and reworks, 1 map, 1 event plus arcade playlist, and battle pass. So each season looks the same from the very broad, vague overview they gave us last year.
Yeah.
I would be really surprised if we see more than 1 new map, because I think that the studio understands that at this point, new maps isn't really value add. Lawrence the Third says, an operator that manipulates sound. We have plenty of sound assisted gadgets, Goo, Banshee, proc sensors, but we don't have an operator that uses sound as a disruption. Also, I expect some form of progression system or reward, either level up rewards or op specific experience, something of that sort. Both of these would be super welcome in my opinion. Like, we've talked about operators that do sound things and they all sound so cool, as long as it doesn't get too obnoxious in my ears. But like, you know, a decoy type thing would be really cool, or something like white noise type of thing would be really cool. So any of that, and yeah, like, I know this has been top of your list for a long time, but like, let's get unlocks for doing cool things in the game with specific operators. That would be so fun. And I can confirm that, having started to play a lot of League of Legends, it is very fun unlocking stuff for your main characters.
It really is.
It's a good time.
It really is. Yeah, I definitely 100%. You just read Lorenzo Third, right? We're on
Yes.
Tom Bullet Boy.
Yep.
Tom Bullet Boy says, I think they'll attack the battle pass. Quite sure how. I reckon it's done a decent job of fulfilling its intended purposes, but I think it's already getting stale. After 1 or 2 more iterations, we'll see its purchase rates dropped off to a massive extent. Maybe they put an operator at the end of it, like a free unlock of whoever you want, other than perhaps the newest release, or an elite skin unlock something to reel people back in. Yeah, I mean, I definitely didn't buy this battle pass. I think the attachment skins is where they're really getting people to buy it, is for the attachment skin. But at the same time, I just feel like I like stuff that's not like rare necessarily. Like, yeah, I do like stuff that's rare, but I also just like stuff that kind of looks cool, but also stuff that not everybody's going to put on their guns. And so I guess more rare, right? Like the 6 invitational attachment skins, like literally everybody has it. So I don't think it's that cool to have on my gun. I don't really want it on my gun. Like maybe it was cool if you could buy the battle pass. So like all it meant is you just bought up to that point. Like it doesn't mean anything. So it's like I don't know.
Well, it's just really cool to have a skin that shows that like, oh, I didn't just roll for this, or I didn't spend renown on it, or I didn't even just buy it. Like I actually did something in the game to earn this.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's just really cool. And I've used this example 100 times, but having that golden AK-47 in Call of Duty 4 that meant that you got 150 headshots with every assault rifle, and some of those assault rifles were not good. Like it was very cool to have that.
Yeah. Just stuff like that. It's just so cool. That's why I only use the fire skin in Siege. It's the one you got beta. It actually means something.
Yeah. Steel Switch says, I expect to hear that Ubisoft will show us a roadmap with 4 new operators, 1 reworked map, and a few adjustments to operators, and 1 special event. I predict a lackluster season. I don't see Ubisoft making any attempt to attract new players or former players. We will be hitting 5 years by December, and I feel the game has almost run its course, and I don't see 100 total operators in the future. Sorry to be a negative Nancy. I am not seeing anything creative coming out of Ubisoft that addresses the community's main concerns.
Yeah, this would be their time. So I mean, I think there's a lot of kind of feeling that's this way right now, and that's because this is season 4 of the year, and so not much comes out, and so this is kind of how people start to feel. Is they're just like, maybe this game's done. Maybe they're not really going to release that much. Maybe this is going to be it. Yeah, I don't know if I see 100 operators either. We're at like 54 right now, 55, something like that.
Yeah,
it's like if they're only releasing 4 this next year.
Yeah, it would be a long time to get there. And I don't think that would be what's good for the game at this point, right? Like, I don't know how many more good ideas there are out there that don't like ruin aspects of the game. So I'm not that excited about new operators. I'd be much more excited about like a new anti-cheat or, just a lot of these other like top of the list things that players have. I'm not really that interested in new characters anymore.
Yeah, I will say Steel Switch. I don't think you're really being like a negative Nancy in a way. Like, I do think if this year reveal is not something that's like does something big, something huge, that's not just like, oh, there's just going to be new maps and new operators, like, yay. Like, if that's it, like, I definitely kind of agree with you. Like, it maybe actually has come to running its course. Like, maybe that's going to be it because they're not doing anything to bring in new players or keep old players that have been playing for forever. I think they need to do something big. So I think if we don't see something big, I think Siege might actually, as I've been one that says Siege isn't dying, Siege might start dying.
Yeah, I would say, like, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt that, like, year 5, I know, at least for us, got us super pumped. Like, they announced some things that were just amazing.
I played so much Steel Wave and Neon Dawn. And wait, we're in Neon Dawn.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
We are.
We are on Neon Dawn. Steel Wave and whatever was before Steel Wave. I played a ton of both of those seasons, and that was like the start of year 5. So
we also played quite a bit of the Sam Fisher season, whatever that was called. Phantom.
Yep, no, the green one, Phantom Sight.
A long time ago.
No, that was a long time. That was a blue one. That was Nook and Warden.
That was Warden.
I don't remember what
it was.
Sam Fisher season was called.
Somebody can tell us in chat.
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Shadow Legacy.
Mr. Bassman, based on the event map coming out, I expect to see a coastline rework. I also expect to see a healer on attack or a Finka rework to make her a healer. Those are all interesting guesses. I would not be surprised at a coastline rework, although coastline I feel like is one of their best maps as far as like straight up balance. So I think there's other maps they might touch first. If you had to pick, say 2 maps that you think they're going to announce reworks in year 6, what would you say?
Bank and Border.
Bank and Border. I wouldn't.
The Border's kind of cheating because what?
Oh, is there a Border leak or something?
Yeah.
Oh,
Border's being reworked. That's next season. Yeah.
Oh wow, I did not know that. Okay, cool. So Border's 1, and then Bank. Yeah, Bank would be a really, really good one to hit.
We already gave them an outline, so.
Yeah, exactly. They don't even have to do anything. They just have to watch episode.
If you know the episode off the top of your head, I'm going to be very surprised.
84.
Oh no, that was forever ago. That was like probably episode 68 or something.
No,
that was. Oh yeah, that was before. That was when we were still doing weeklies.
Are you?
That's
sure?
Back when you worked at. That's when you were at WeWork. That was a long, long time ago.
Okay, yeah, that could have been a long. Okay, well, we'll find out. Your turn. Go.
Cool kid 78211. I think they're going to say something about muzzle attachments. That would be interesting to have something different with like suppress, like they did the sight attachments, like 1.5s, 2.0s, those kind of sights. It would be interesting to see some new sort of like suppressor changes, or like this is how we're going to change our muzzle attachments, or grips. This is how we're going to change the grips. That would be interesting. Yeah, that would be really interesting. I would welcome that for sure.
Fuse me, daddy.
But again, that's a the attachment things is one that like it's not big enough to keep someone playing. Like that's something where I'd be like, oh yeah, like I want to play a couple games, see how they feel, but that wouldn't be something to keep me like, oh yeah, I want to keep playing Siege. Like no, not enough.
Okay, so it turns out you were way closer on guessing the episode number. It was 65.
65. Yeah, long time ago.
That was a long time. Spaghetti and
It's a
Triangles.
really long time. That was over a year ago. Was it not?
Yeah, it was December 2019.
It would have been. Yeah. Whoa.
Spaghetti and Triangles is the name of the episode. I don't know what that is referencing. I cannot remember in the slightest.
Something about Maestro, probably.
Probably. Okay, that's actually it for Discord Discourse. Do we have one for next week? Next episode?
I was thinking about I think next week that's basically we're going to be having the reveal come out, and so I think we'll probably skip the Discord Discourse, but the one at that point will be what your thoughts were about the reveal. So
cool. Okay, let's jump into listener questions, of which we have a handful.
The big LQ.
Hey, guess what? We have some from a few
you know what's interesting? People always imagine probably like what we look like while we're talking, because we like what our intro looks like when we say our intro, because they've seen us on stream and stuff, but now they can actually watch like, oh, this is what they look like when they do their intro, or this is what he looks like when he says the big LQ.
That's what
I do it with the same facial reaction every time. So now you guys know.
Now he knows.
I'm Chris. It's the same. It's the same facial reaction. So now you guys know. Now you can picture it in your mind every single time we do it.
And you
podcast questions, right?
Making weird
podcast questionnaires.
Yeah, podcast questionnaires. So to become a podcast questionnaire, you need to ask 6 questions that get read on the podcast. Some people have already done that, and they got into this very exclusive channel in our Discord called Podcast Questionnaires. Imagine that. And they get to chat with each other, who are just like the exclusive, most top level, unrenowned friends. And they also get kind of priority on their questions. We look at those first because we know that they have quality questions. And the way you can ask questions if you are not a questionnaire is just in the Discord. To go to join Unrenowned Discord, and there's a special channel dedicated for it, and we will read your questions out on the podcast. Oh, also, if you're a questionnaire, you can submit voice questions, which not many people have taken advantage of, but it's a possibility. So Fuse Me Daddy asks, what are you guys planning to do for episode 100?
So this is episode 99, right?
99. Here we are.
Well, you guys, for episode 100, we did something amazing for you, and we decided to make Siege reveal year 6. So our episode 100 is going to be what year 6 is.
Probably not, because I think that the reveal is going to happen actually after our episode 100. But we will instigate the reveal by releasing episode 100. We have authorized them after the release of episode 100 to go ahead and reveal year 6.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing. We thought about it. We couldn't think of anything special, so we're just doing an episode as usual.
I forgot something special.
Actually, well, we tried to get something special, but it didn't happen.
We tried. Yeah, we actually really did try. A couple of ways.
Sorry.
And didn't happen.
Senpai didn't notice us.
No response. Ghosted.
You guys, alert Senpai that it's episode 100 of the Unrenowned Podcast, and
of
Senpai,
the longest running Rainbow Six Siege podcast.
The longest running, should send one of their little cadets to come to our show and talk about the game that is the focus of this podcast. Schmidtstain, tell me about Schmidtstain.
Schmidtstain says a lot of people I know, not me, complain about Siege not being realistic enough anymore, and complain about how the first stops were a dude with a hammer and big shield, and now they're laser gates and holograms. With that being said, how many operators do you think they could put into the game? As in, how many realistic abilities could they come up with? I think a maximum of 50 total, but I even think that number's a stretch. I think if you were creative enough, you could come up with a bunch of like semi-realistic things. Like obviously, like the big shield and the hammer. It's like, yeah, it's just a sledgehammer, but it makes a giant hole that you can vault through in a wall. So like semi-realistic, like within the realm of belief. Um, I agree with those people complaining because it is like those gadgets that turn invisible and attach to the ceiling, and the laser gates that kill gadgets and hurt people, but then disappear when a friendly walks near them, but then reappear when the friendly walks. Like those are the ones that get very confusing when they're not realistic at all. It's like I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
So I agree with those people complaining about it. But I do think that you can make as many realistic abilities. Like if you had imagination, you could come up with 100 if you wanted to make 100 operators.
Yeah. I think also there's probably a lot of the like less realistic operators that you could pretty easily reskin into something like more realistic. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's definitely like a valid complaint if you liked the fact that this was kind of a military sim-esque type of game, right? Like, especially like from previous Rainbow Six titles.
Have I told you about the idea of making recoil worse than Siege?
No.
So this was interesting. I think it was Intero that was talking about it, but basically the complaint was that the time to kill in Siege was too short or something, or like basically people would do these like peaks and just get these super easy kills, like because there's one shot headshots and stuff. And so their solution was to increase the recoil of all the guns, so the guns were like way harder to shoot. I think that is the dumbest idea I've ever heard. Like if you want to increase the time to kill, make it harder to kill people so fast, I think you remove one shot headshots. You don't making the guns hard to shoot, I think sucks. Like
Yeah.
of all popular games that I can think of, all the really, really popular games, every single one, guns feel really, really good and they're very easy to shoot. Like Warzone, crazy popular game. Fortnite, crazy popular game. Any Call of Duty ever, crazy popular game. Halo used to be crazy popular game. Like, oh, like CS:GO even. Like all of these guns are like very, very accurate and not like
And like it takes some
crazy hard.
skill, right? Like it's not like
Yeah,
easy, but when like you can get it down pretty easily, and there doesn't tend to be as much variation in the recoil patterns and that kind of stuff that Siege has, right?
yeah, definitely true. And I just think that that's like the worst idea ever to just make the recoil harder to control. Like that's no good. Anyway,
Yeah, I think so too. What are we on? Just a Simp?
just a simp.
Just a Simp asked, how would you feel about a change to Withstand where you get knocked and can use your pistol like in Call of Duty Zombies? They would give it to more ops, but only ones that don't have full auto pistols or wacky pistols like Mute, Smoke, Nomad, Kaid. Absolutely not. Definitely not. There was a perk in Call of Duty 4, and I think subsequent Call of Duty is called Last Stand, where you would do this. You would go down, and then you would be down with your pistol. It had its own problems where like there was no animation between it, so like you would be shooting your gun and then you'd go down and you would immediately like basically be out of the other guy's aim, and now you're shooting a pistol at him from the ground. So like it was like super unfair, especially because you could have a Desert Eagle. So like there was like other problems with it, but just overall, like, no, this is a bad idea. It's not fun. It seems fun when you're the one getting downed. It's not as fun when you're the one killing the guy.
Yeah, I agree. Baguette Man says, if someone was to enter your house uninvited, which weapon from Siege would you want to use to protect yourself?
Montaigne's ship.
Tachanka's. Oh yeah, Tachanka's gun though. Just the sound of it, would that not scare someone out of your house?
Tachanka's
Yeah,
flamethrower.
they're out. They're gone.
Or what? Incendiary grenade
Shimmy.
launcher. Well, I'm not gonna burn my house down.
Yeah, I mean the gun's gonna destroy the crap out of your house, but I don't want to have to actually shoot the person. Like I would rather not have to kill someone. So I'd rather not something that's actually kind of hard to control, or like I actually have to shoot them. I'd rather just have a giant gun where they're like, I don't want to mess with it.
Real answer. Pretty much anybody's pump shotgun, because that sound alone isn't like the sound of a pump shotgun action is enough to scare people away. Comet asked, on loading screen tips, what if when you chose your op and are waiting to load into the map, it showed tips about what your op can do and how it can interact with other ops? Absolutely. Or if you could like even show like cooldowns and the weapon stats and like all that kind of stuff, like that would be fantastic.
Yep.
Yes, great
That'd be
idea.
good stuff. Yeah, that's an excellent solution to like what good loading screen kit tips could they put on. Hey, it's Mythic asked, who's the better 5-stack, Hardstuck or Unrenowned?
I mean, probably Hardstuck because we're
Yeah,
like severely out of practice.
well, also we've never actually had a 5-stack.
That's true.
We've never had like
we've
a
never had a
set. They have
consistent.
5 people that they play with like consistently. We've never had 5. We've had 4 that we play with consistently, but
Yeah, we've had a solid 4 with the like a rotating door on the 5th, and
yeah.
we've had some that work really well with us and some that are so. But like, yeah, we've never had a solid 5-stack, to be honest. In fact, Mythic has often been the 5th.
That's true.
Mythic
has been the 5th.
Knows that.
But yeah, also we haven't played Siege in. Well, I'm Plat 2. I can say that I'm Plat 2.
Yeah, he's soloed to Plat 2. There you go.
Soloed myself to Plat 2.
I'd be down to play though. We should play sometime. No promises on schedules because we have very busy lives. But yeah, we will accept the challenge at some point.
One last podcast question. Grumpy
Yes.
Monkey said, "Did you guys play with Legos when you were younger? If so, is there a set that stands out? For me, it's the Death Star." I think we had like a lot of sets that just ended up in a big box, and I just created everything in the box. So I personally wouldn't say there's a specific set that stood out to me because I didn't necessarily get a set and like build the set. Like I think I did that once, but really it was just I had a ton of Legos and I just built everything with the Legos.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did get to play with Legos and I loved them.
Yeah, Chris definitely got like my hand-me-down Legos. So by that point, it was just a big bucket all mixed together. I don't think I even got that many sets. I probably had like just a couple of sets and then just like hand-me-down Legos from somebody else. Like the one that I remember was just like a generic pirate themed thing where there was like some soldiers or they had like a little fort and then there was like a pirate ship and pirate guys, and that's like the only like real set I remember having. So
and you have this Lego box at your house now, right?
I do. Yeah, my children play with it, the very same Legos.
Nice.
It's amazing.
Frazee brought up a good point. He
Yes.
says we played them in ranked and we beat them, which is true. We matched up against the Hardstuck 5-stack in ranked. I think we had.
I think it was like 2 or 3 of them, to be honest. It wasn't a 5-stack. And
it was at least 3.
Yeah, it might have been 3, but we didn't.
It was at least Poopsie, Mythic, and Aqua.
Yeah, that sounds.
But
right.
we didn't have 5
we,
either. Anyway,
we had 4, I think, and we did win. And Frazee says since that's the only data point, I think it means we are better, that's true. That's how stats work. So that
was a really fun game. It was so funny because we just like, what are the chances? I guess we're in the same server, but we just must have searched at the exact same time and we run into each other in a ranked game, queued against each other.
Well, the chances are good because nobody plays Siege anymore. Remember, Siege is dying.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Right.
Right. All right. Hey, if you like the podcast, make sure you're following. Make sure you're subscribed to the podcast on your favorite podcatcher. We are on all of them. Somebody actually told me that we were not on Amazon Podcast, which I didn't even know was a thing. But hey, now we are. So if we're not on your favorite podcatcher, let us know and we'll get on there. Yeah, follow us, leave us a review or a rating on your favorite listening place of choice. And also, hey, follow us on Twitter. We are at R6 Unrenowned, where you can get our random Siege thoughts throughout the week. And let's see, what else? Join the Discord. It's a good place to be if you want to help support the podcast and you like energy drinks. Get your free sample of Ma Energy. It's not even a sample. It's a free tub, a whole free thing. Just go to drinkmaw.com/R6pod and do that. Follow us. Follow. If you're not watching us on stream right now because we did live stream this episode, then you can watch us stream something the next time. I am Ryguy, WRYGUY on Twitter. No, not Twitter. On Twitch and YouTube. Chris is
just hello with 3 O's. I just took a shot of Ma.
Wait, what? Did you just mix a full scoop of Ma with like a teaspoon of water?
No, not a full scoop. It was like a half scoop.
Was it strong?
But yeah, it was pretty strong. It was like just a little bit of water and just swilled up.
Wow.
So I'm ready to go, guys. As you can tell, I'm feeling it right now.
So what does that mean? Are we gonna go play some Siege? Is that what that means?
Okay. So Ryan,
he just like didn't even. He barely even acknowledged that I asked him that. He just kind of like winced at me and moved on.
I did. Yeah, it's true. What's that thing? Oh, I remember. It's just goodbye.